Alright, last recording today, and I'm well behind schedule on how long this recording was supposed to last. Whoops. First couple episodes just... Well, all the episodes have gone over time. That's the problem. Oh well. I had other things to do today, but I guess I'm not doing them. Some games are just like that. It's really hard to control how long the recording sessions last. Eek. So I'm gonna see how many of these strings on the right that I'm recording actually end up being hashes in the archive file that I did not already know. I do have some of them. I have a chunk of them because one guy who worked on this game earlier on but left Climax before they finished. I mean, I went way far back that time. Ah! One guy that was on Climax but then left before they finished. Grant Pugh, I think was the name? No, Gavin, sorry, not Grant. Gavin Pugh. Not sure if he's going to be on the credits for this game or not, but probably for Offroad Fury 3 and some other Climax games. He's been very forthright with the development of games that he's worked on. There was another one, was it Crusty Demons? I don't remember which one. One of the games that he even wrote a TCRF page for. Which is pretty awesome to see a developer do. This is just Supercross at this point, guys, come on. Also, the rivals are in the back, which is kind of cool. This race is going to take forever again. Man, the cornering you have on these bikes is crazy, though. I absolutely have seen races, though, in the demo play where you have ATVs and bikes together. I'm not sure what setting, what circumstance that was under. But as I was saying, Gavin Pugh, someone who really wanted me to work out the archive format for this game, actually, some years ago went to Gavin Pugh and asked, hey, what can you tell me about this archive format that's used for this game? And he said, well, they actually designed this updated archive format after I left, so I don't know. But Gavin did actually put in surprising amount of effort into figuring out the archive format himself. Was only able to get so far on it. But awesome thing to see a developer do, especially for a game like, well, it was 15 years ago at that point when he was emailed, I think, about it. I'm just ahead of the pack today. That's awesome. I mean, my rivals are not either. If they can get knocked down a few pegs, I'll buy me some security. That'd be really nice. Not that we have that many races left in this tournament, I don't think, but still. But one thing he did provide was he did have the archive file from an old demo build of the game that he passed along. Not precisely the actual archive file with the game files in it, but with it's broken up into two files, really, is how it works in this game and most other Climax games. All of them, actually, really. You have one file that contains all the actual file data and one that's based just like a table of contents for the other file. Oops, not... Oh, how'd I... Okay. Apparently, you can just... If you press down when you're in the air, you just rotate extremely quickly for some reason. As long as I beat the rivals, I'm fine. I don't really need to beat everyone else. But anyhow, so that table of contents file, sometimes in Climax games is XML, sometimes it's some kind of binary format instead, which is basically the same structure as the XML, but not text. And then there's this new format, a new binary format that's used in this game. But Gavin happened to have an old XML version of this from, I think, a demo that was released for this game. Ow. I noticed people don't knock each other over as easily when they run into each other as in Fury 3. That might be a good thing. That was kind of frustrating, even though it was also amusing sometimes, and sometimes worked out to my benefit. But also sometimes people ram me and knock me over, which was very upsetting. What that meant, the thing is, that textual version of the table of contents, so to speak, which was missing a whole bunch of files that ended up in the final game, mind you. It was text, so it had the actual plain text file names and paths everywhere. Which meant that we could, you know, use those paths. And we could compare those to, we could calculate hashes for those and compare those to the hashes. Come on, Bowls. At the very least, Bowls is the one that's not doing as well. If we get second to Bowls, it's not as big of a deal. Manu is the one I need to really not fall behind. It is now on third. Ugh. They were behind for a while. I guess they're kind of, things are getting kind of shaken out in the pack there, and they're breaking out ahead. It's very annoying. But yes, that means I have a whole bunch of file names already, actually. But there's an astounding number of files that are in the final version of this game that are not in the demo version. Most of them, actually. So I still need to play through the game this way. But some of those files, I just already have them. I see the file names in the original XML. I calculate their hashes, I compare them to the hashes in the file this game uses, and they're the same, they're correct. So what I'm going to do after I finish recording this is I'm going to take this file that I've written a whole bunch of strings to. I'm going to deduplicate its contents, and I'm going to calculate the hashes of all those and see how many of them are, well, pretty much all of them in theory should be hashes that are actually used in the... Oh, Manu, are you serious? Pretty much all of them should be hashes that are used in the archive file. Not necessarily all of them, because the hash function that's used for that archive file is also used for some other stuff. I don't know what happens if I think I found out what happens at some point if I get tied for first or something like that. It just turns it to second. It's the usual tying means you lose sort of thing. The house always wins sort of issue. Well, that was aggressive. Not deliberately, mind you, but works out in my favor quite well. So is Manu yet again going to fall behind me just because he ended up wiping out? Last time it was, I wouldn't call it my fault this time either, in the sense that it was accidental, but last time it was completely Manu on his own, just wiping out at the very end for no apparent reason. This time it's because I accidentally actually knocked him over. Yeah, of course it's... if Bowls was the one who was in second right now, and Manu was stuck in the pack, well, not really stuck in the pack, because the pack is kind of going to take a really super racing line here. If Manu was the one who was in 5th place, not in the top 4, top 50%, I'd be very calm then, I'd be very content. The way this is working now, I'm not very happy, because Manu is actually a credible threat, a very credible threat, in doing stuff like this. I think we're going to end up in a tie with this guy if he ends up getting ahead of me here. Yeah, this game has some rubber banding with the AI. I think gets better over the course of the race or something, because I break out ahead easily at the very beginning. You saw how these guys were getting stuck in the back for a while, and then all of a sudden, whoops, this guy's now way out in front of everyone else after all that. Ah. Did not take that jump the way I meant to. Yeah, so this time I don't wipe out or anything, but after this guy gets wiped out, he manages to just shoot ahead to where he can actually catch up to me. Of course, the same thing happens if I ever wipe out. Everyone else slows down. That's sort of a band-aid for you. Also, I am doing a poor job in some of these spots. What? No, I didn't. And now I'm in 4th. Guys, you can't do that. This game is aggressive about you actually cutting corners. Again. Come on! Well, how much would that ruin me? Enough to where I don't think I can get past him. I got a license. Oh, does it not make a difference? Yeah, I just got silver in the championship. Well, I would have gone tied. I probably would have gone silver anyways if I got second. If I got second, then tied with him. Well, that's annoying. Man, these races are so long. I just don't have time to do anything else today. I like to do... I do need to do a heavy stuff now, so I guess what I might do is... challenges. Interesting. What does selecting it do? Nothing. Okay, thanks. It's just a passive thing. But, yes. I guess I need to do something heavy at this point, so... but yeah, if it's just all trucks or all buggies and so on, so it's like, okay. Just do whatever then. I don't know what the difference is between Supercross and Rallycross. I may do National, honestly, as well. It's pretty good. It'd be good to see different sorts. I don't know what Rallycross really is, but it's only heavy. Oh, but is it not just the equivalent of Supercross? But even then, it's probably pretty different because you don't have preloading and whatnot, so it's probably not as much about jumps, I would hope. Okay, should we look for some upgrades at this point? Like a better buggy or anything? I don't have that much cash, actually, in reality. I can't afford... very close to affording this, but I don't want a Paylor's cornering. It's a very marginal increase. Like, this would be good. Actually, this does seem like what I would like. Some more power, and I want more cornering. Like, I don't want this one anyways. Yeah, why not? And we gotta invest in making our stuff better at some point. That's satisfying. Presumably tire-wise. So unfortunately I can't see before I'm gonna be starting this race at episode time, oh boy. These are 4-star tires. But again, I'm gonna need to buy better tires regardless at some point or another, so I might as well just do that now. I just don't know which ones are better to buy here. Presumably we have tarmac ones as well. Do we? I guess that wasn't a thing before. I also don't know what prototype is. I saw that before as well. Okay, there aren't tarmac ones. I guess that wasn't a thing on the bikes either. Okay. There we go. Got a better buggy by some metrics. That ought to help get us an edge, I think, for actually winning these races. One thing that did bug me a lot back in Offroad Fury 3 that I'm not sure is a thing in this game or not was there would be a difficulty curve over the course of a championship as well. Like your opponents will just get better stats and whatnot over the course of a single tournament. Shouldn't make a whole lot of sense. But it was also why I didn't just do the whole tournament all in one go. Like the game seemed to design explicitly for you to not do that. Is there any reason to or to not rail your engine as you're waiting to start? Yeah. I kind of got to the point where I was falling outside the turns. I just had to turn it however hard I needed to stay on the course. I feel like it comes to me fairly easily, the whole idea of, hey, take these turns efficiently and whatnot. I guess tarmac is specifically designed to give good grip to tires, isn't it? This kind of makes sense that any tires you use... Oh boy, how are you rotating so much? You can combo all those together. Oh, actually, I don't think it gave me a 2x multiplier though. But anyways, kind of makes sense that using any tire will still give good traction on asphalt. Okay. Calm down there. Now you saw that some of the AI... Ah, darn. Took this turn really slowly. And that makes sense. You want to take it gently so you don't just spin out, basically. Because you do not have good traction. Okay, so me being way ahead right now doesn't necessarily mean much, because we dominated the first race last time, too. We'll see if it stays this way. But if this mostly comes... If the buggy's mostly... What always gives me trouble with the bikes is the jumps. And having to hit those right, which is why I don't like Supercross, because it even though that's already a thing in basically every race in the game, it emphasizes that even more. It's like the entirety of these races is just, hey, take these jumps with the right spacing and whatnot, which depends on how fast your bike already is and everything. What's optimal is just not easy to figure out. You can do some little bits of tuning too, if you're like, oh hey, I want to have higher acceleration running the top speed in a course like this with tight turns and so on. But still, it was basically just managing these jumps and climbing hills and so on. Whereas, if you take away the jumps, it feels like in a buggy and truck, at which point it looks to me like it's pretty much all just about going around turns efficiently and so on. Like, it's just about... It's like the flatter courses that do, to some degree, exist for the bikes, for the light vehicles. Or at least there are some back in Offroad Fury 3. There are some that are very flat, at which point it's just, it's all about making turns effectively. And I do feel like I have a good grip on how to take turns effectively, you know, keeping grip, keeping your speed up and so on, not getting yourself to start sliding everywhere. Of course, you still ain't good enough stats, so there's not much you can do about that if it's just not possible to take turns with the vehicle you have without it starting to spin out and so on. Or if you have a bike that can take turns at very high speeds without losing any traction, well, you can just take turns faster than everyone else. So that's the numbers game still comes into the picture. really bummed out by that respawn I got at the very end of the last race. I still get the lowest stunt score. Well, yeah, because I'm deliberately not sliding around everywhere. Stylish driving. It's inefficient driving. I guess efficiency isn't stylish. But man, I got as much money for that as I did for the race stand. Jeez. It's kind of interesting. Alright, but I'm gonna have to call it here. So next time, we'll keep on going in this tournament. We'll see how it goes. Again, I wasn't planning on ever playing this game, but I happen to have cause for it. Hopefully by then this will have pretty much all of the hashes figured out, approximately. And there are probably some that are in the game but aren't actually loaded ever, so that I won't be able to catch them this way. And there are probably some I won't be able to access, like some online stuff, likewise, unfortunately. Ooh. Those, it's just, I don't think you can do handicap online. Well, usually Climax's online content depends on a particular service. I don't remember what that service was called, but of course they're not up anymore. So yeah, it's probably just not possible to do that stuff, so probably can't get that part of the game to load. So that's another thing I probably won't be able to do. But otherwise, I'll see if I can get everything possible, as much as I can, to load in this game. One way or another. And that will hopefully give me a whole bunch of hashes so I can actually like extract this game's contents and actually give the files names instead of just like hashes. Anyways, see you then, guys.